Welcome to the JJ Think Tank. Hello and welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. In this video, I will be reviewing Jared Diamond's famous book, Germs and Steel. And overall, I wasn't a fan of this book, to be honest. I don't think it was that great. I was a bit let down. I thought it would be a better read, but I think the theory he provides was a bit too simplistic, in my opinion, and this is how I titled my article. There were some juicy nuggets of information, of course. I agreed with him on occasions, but overall, I think he negates the uniqueness of, for instance, Western civilization, European civilization. But not only this civilization, Chinese civilization is unique because it's Chinese, yes, because it's made up of Chinese people, yes. Race matters, genes matter, unfortunately. And this is what Jared Diamond tries to negate in his book. He argues that everything is due to the environment, basically. But I'll go into more detail as the video progresses, as I analyze what I wrote here a couple of years ago now. One moment. Yes, so let's start analysing what I wrote here and unpack things a bit further. Perhaps something will spring into my mind as I'm sharing my thoughts. So yes, Diamond's overarching thesis is that geography and biogeography, not race, contribute to the contrasting fates of various civilizations and continents. Now look, yes, to a degree this is true. If people live in a rough environment, a rough climate, then they will struggle. Yes, they will struggle to develop. So in the past, we can think of the desert tribes. Yes, the Bedouin desert tribes. They weren't able to develop like the Europeans because the climate was much different there. And this doesn't mean that they have a lower IQ or whatever. It's just that it was more difficult for them. And now we see that the Arabs, yes, they're capable of modernizing. So we can look at Saudi Arabia, etc., all of these countries, and the climate. They have. We can say they have overcome the power of nature, and in these desert lands now we can find these mega cities, etc. So clearly the Arabs, they're not stupid. They don't have a lower IQ than Europeans. Yes, so you can see these IQ charts that say that apparently people from the West have high IQs and then Arabs have lower, for example. Or not even Arabs, yes. Some of these IQ charts, they say that, for example, Serbians have an average IQ of like 89 or 90, whereas an average Brit or an average Pole or an average German suddenly has an IQ of 102. So I mean, for me, this is nonsense. This is Serbia is poor because it's a landlocked country. It has nothing to do with the IQ of the Serbians. Yes. So yes. So what I just said now. It shows that geography, it doesn't restrict the development of countries. Yes, so we can see now what was taking place in recent history in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, etc. they have managed to develop despite the harsh climate of the desert over there. So straight away, I think this thesis is wrong. Now, I know this might be a controversial point, but in general, sub-Saharan Africa has struggled to develop. There are some countries that have developed more. So, for instance, we can think of Ghana. You can think of Ghana. I mean, I guess parts of Nigeria and other parts of sub-Saharan Africa. But in general, in these countries, race has an effect on the development of the landmass of the countries. Unfortunately, yes. And here, I guess I would agree with race realists, these controversial thinkers such as Stefan Molyneux and others, who argue that race matters to a degree, and I agree with them. Race does matter. It does matter. We have different races on this planet. We should cherish these differences. I think ultimately these differences make the world more interesting. So we have Japanese, we have Africans, we have Chinese, we have Europeans, we have Slavs, Russians. Russians are kind of a mixture of Slavic blood, of European blood, a little bit of Mongolian blood in there. Sprinkle a little bit of Mongolian blood. We've got the Anglos, yes. We've got the Latin Americans. I mean, this is how God created the world. I mean, and because of this, because of race, some countries are different than others, but it doesn't mean they're inferior. And here, this is where I disagree with some race realists that they argue, our civilization, it's superior. I don't know. Look, civilization comes with its costs. I mean, look at our civilization now. I mean, it's a dead civilization. We're dying. Like humans, they're not even humans in the West. They're not reproducing, are they? Birth rates are plummeting. A lot of mental illness is on the rise. A lot of toxicity, narcissism, etc. So Western civilization is not perfect. And many of these supposed primitive, civilizations or primitive areas, yes, quote unquote primitive, they live much healthier lives. They lead much healthier lives than us. Really, let's be honest. They're in touch with nature. They're part of a community. They still lead this hunter-gatherer lifestyle. So I don't know. Are they inferior to us? Really, I don't know. In some ways, they are inferior. I guess we can argue in some aspects, but in others, they're not really. I don't think they are. So this is my view personally, and yes, but now I'd like to go back to my article and cover some more information. So there's two main points I want to make about why Diamond is wrong. So yes, I already mentioned the first point, which is the reality of race, and race has an effect on a given area's development. You can't deny this. Secondly, individual human factor. I mean, Diamond completely ignores this. A lot of progress comes down to an individual person, the genius of an individual person. So, I mean, we can name individuals from various countries. Every country, every nation has its own geniuses from the past. Yes, so. Okay, well, speaking of Serbia, so Nikola Tesla, yes, made a massive impact on our way of life. So he was Serbian by ethnicity, by blood, by genetics, but culturally he was perhaps more Anglo, yes, Anglo-Serbian, because he emigrated, I believe, to America, and that's where he achieved his success, yes. So that, yeah, I mean, yes, so many examples we could list. Famous figures from Germany, from France, from Poland, from Russia, from England, from the UK, from America. So Diamond completely ignores this, the individual human genius. Yes, so I mean, there's another flaw to his theory. And this is why I wrote down here. It's preposterous to assume that, for instance, the brilliance of European civilization can be boiled down to the few factors that Diamond repeats throughout his book, namely strictly environmental ones. Now, look, yeah, to a degree, this is true because in Europe, the environment perhaps is more suitable for human development. The climate is not too harsh. There's a lot of fresh water, spring water, a lot of trees. The weather doesn't fluctuate so much. I mean, there is a continental climate. It's hotter in the summer, and obviously it can be quite brutal in the winter. But if we concentrate on Europe, the winter isn't that bad usually. Yes, it is a factor, but it's not. You can't just boil it down to this. Come on. Oh no. No, don't buy this. Don't buy this argument. Yes, and then such as what other environmental factors does Diamond share? So the idea of there being wild plants and animals suitable for domestication. Again, yes, I guess, but the the development of countries such as China also took place, and they also domesticated plants and animals. I believe in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, there are plants and animals suitable for domestication, but the people from this area chose not to do so. Yes, so they chose not to undergo a agrarian revolution. Yes, so. And then the last point he makes is the ease of diffusion between areas and continents, technological diffusion. And well, thinking about this now, uh, technological diffusion is much easier, definitely now in the postmodern age, and we can see development taking place nearly everywhere. Yes, so I guess here Diamond's argument is stronger. Uh, the idea of race having an impact on development, perhaps here, it doesn't really matter. Yes. What I would say though, what I would say is who invented this technology in the first place. We need to think about this, right? I think who invented the technology. Here, I think race has an impact. Some races develop technology more, others less. Other races don't develop technology as much. So this is what I would argue. And this is how I would counteract Diamond's argument. And this led me to this conclusion that Europeans, in general, they're not allowed to be kind of proud of their ancestors, proud of their civilization. Apparently, we were just luckily positioned in the geographical lottery. No, I don't buy this, to be honest. Look, Europe. yeah, Europe did a lot of damage. I agree. I mean, Europe itself was at war. Neighboring countries in Europe constantly being at war with each other, yes, and then they spread this toxicity worldwide to a degree. But Europe also brought a lot of progress to the world. A lot of the great works of art, the great works of literature, technological development, etc., science came from Europe. We can't deny this, yes. So, I mean, Europeans should be allowed to be proud of their civilization in a healthy sense, yes. Not in a toxic sense, in a healthy way. So, I mean, again, here I disagree with Diamond, yes, and this is why I wrote this. But yes, other factors include the role of germs. So, yes, I guess perhaps sometimes the outbreak of a disease can restrict the development of a given area. I mean, for sure, this might be the case. So yes, and then Diamond talks more about government-state formation and writing, but these secondary factors appear much later. The groundwork, according to Diamond, is the environment, yes, and its suitability for allowing an agrarian revolution to appear, which then gets eventually converted into a state-directed society, yes, based on the farming sector, etc. Yes, but now I want to talk about where I agree, where I agreed with Diamond. So I agree with Diamond in the sense that people can still be intelligent even if they live an alternative lifestyle, like that of a hunter and gatherer. I think only because a person or a given tribe engages in hunting and gathering, it doesn't mean automatically that they're inferior, they're stupid, or they're not civilized. Yes, they're barbaric. I mean, this hunter and gatherer lifestyle is definitely more in tune with nature, and such people are living more healthy, holistic lives, I think, as opposed to the average citizen in our modern civilization, I think. So I said this before, but I wanted to repeat myself because I think it's an important point to make. Because now in our modern Western civilization, a lot of people have been completely domesticated and dependent, incapacitated by it. If civilization were to collapse, they wouldn't be able to survive, I think, right? Because they're just domesticated, aren't they? Whereas these hunter and gatherers, they've got this intelligence of being able to survive in the wild, etc. This is a form of intelligence, in my opinion. And yes, so yeah, I guess my main point is that complex civilization has its drawbacks, and the majority of the population has become complacent and lobotomized, both in the body and in the mind. Lobotomized. So yes, in general, I sensed a bit of a bias towards European civilization, Anglo-American civilization. I mean, Arabs and Muslims, they also colonized in the past. They enslaved Africans. People argue that they still enslave Africans to this day. But definitely in the past, in history, when you check up on history and you check up on the facts, I mean, Arabs and Muslims, they enslaved a lot of Africans, a lot. I don't want to go into the details. I don't know if they enslaved more or less. This is a topic for a separate video, but I don't like how Diamond projects original sin only onto the whites. Yes, only onto Europe and Anglo Americans. Only we are the baddies. I don't know. I mean, humans are humans. Yes, all humans on this earth are tainted with original sin. We're all a mixture of lightness and darkness. So I don't understand this kind of bias, yes, towards, well, against, bias against Europe and America. So I think that's all I wanted to say for this video. It was an okay book, nothing special really. I mean, Diamond provided some interesting arguments, and when he talks about geography and how this impacts development, I mean, of course, to a degree, this is true. It can be used as a factor to explain previous historical outcomes, but it doesn't explain everything. So yes, just want to check up on my last paragraph here to see if I missed anything out. No, that's all. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting. If you're still listening, thank you for tuning in to the JJ Think Tank and listening to what I have to say. If you are a new viewer, consider liking and subscribing. It will help me grow the channel and spread more vital information. If you are an existing subscriber, comment, like, let me know what you think about this theory, about Diamond, about this book. Maybe you read it, because it's quite a famous book now, and it has been read by a lot of people. But anyway, once again, thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best. Take care. Fire in the hole! Thank you for listening to the JJ Think Tank. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.